extent of use of the social media platforms. We have the most expert young men in hacking. So hacking is also an issue where people just hack into places like Carrefour and be able to see who is shopping what and how much capacity they have. So it's an entire complex industry, but Kenyans are innovative and we have the capacity to deal with those problems.
Thank you. Mary Emase.
Thank you, Chairman. My question to the nominee. Nominee, this country's been battling with a lot of gender-based violence, femicide, and many others. And I want to take you to 2011. In 2011, a young university woman with a beautiful and a promising life, Miss Mercy Keino, was found dead in unclear circumstances, just like many of them that we lose through femicide. And that was after being invited to a party where it is alleged you were the host. That tragic incident left so many Kenyans, so many questions in Kenyans' minds, and still remains in the memory of many Kenyans. Kindly expound on this and explain whether you are fit to hold office in light of these allegations. Thank you.
Dawood.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honorable Kabogo, you've been a governor. But I think you know the docket you're going into is the ICT and communication. And the Kenya Kwanza government needs more communication out there than anything else. I believe you know about holography. If you do, please, you will tell us how you would want to deploy it, even if the president cannot make it into one area to communicate, or a minister. They do not have to go in 2-3 places. It can be done through holography. Would you explore that idea? Today, I don't know if you're aware of the Kenya National Artificial Intelligence Strategy Paper 2025-2030 has been released, a draft has been released. I don't know if you're aware of that. If you're not, what you will find, would you then want to change what has already been circulated as a draft, or how will you enrich it? You have said you will get bored very easily. That's why you left the job you were doing. I hope the job you're now looking for, right now, which we are vetting you for, you won't get bored so fastly. The last one is regarding KBC and Communications Authority and Helios.
And?
Helios, the one which was buying telecom. Helio, I am corrected. If I don't know how you have communicated with CAK, there is a debt which CAK has got of KBC, which has not paid about 6 billion shillings. How are you going to tackle that? And how are you going to tackle the retirees of KBC who are not getting their pensions and the lump sums from the year 2021? Thank you, Chair.
Ferdinand.
Chairman.
May I switch on off your mic?
I think traveling around and interacting with the people from this region, the East African countries actually are looking at Kenya as a more developed, because I've been to Tanzania, Uganda, and even Southern Sudan. And I've realized that the whole Kenya to be more developed in terms of the ICT facilitation. And I just want to see, because they can, instead of people traveling, what have you, how are you going to improve, how are you going to coordinate this infrastructure with the other countries? If we met you, the Minister for Communication. Secondly, I think what we are seeing around is a lot of indiscipline among our youths. And you are trying to explain, but the youths needs a program, a specific program to be able to discipline them going forward. If we leave them the way they are, this country is going to be thrown to the dogs. So what programs will you come with? Being, of course, you are saying you know this discipline. What are you going to come up with a program to be able to discipline our children so that going forward, there's discipline in the area, particularly in your country? Thank you.
Last on this batch, Murugara.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Nominee, just put a star against KBC because we are not very good at keeping our national heritage. I mean, the successor in title, KBC, took over from VOK. And VOK was quite developed those days when we used to have it as our main station. Today, it's a pale shandal. And we are worried that other entities in other countries, which are possibly national broadcasting corporations, like BBC, South African Broadcasting Corporation, have been able to peak, but KBC is going down. What measures are you going to put in place to transform KBC so that from your tenure, the time you take it up, if you're approved, we now start seeing KBC coming up to a point that it will become a competitor of BBC, South African Broadcasting Corporation, Voice of America, and everybody else. Secondly, a while ago, a very noble idea was introduced, which was to digitally register Kenyans through a number called Huduma number. We were given a very good story of what it was going to be, that you will get your number for those who are being born from birth, and you would carry it to the grave, such that it would not be replicated, and we would always be able to tell who that person is. That was from the office of the president, but principally it should have been from the Minister of ICT. Is it a good idea to have Kenyans registered under one card, under one number, like the Huduma number, which is going to be your everything? And if it is in your favor, how would you protect that under the Data Protection Act? Thank you.
Nominee, you can answer those four.
Mr. Speaker, the first one was from
Honorable Emase.
Mary.
Yes.
Is that so? Mr. Speaker, the issue of 2011 of Mercy Keino, a very tragic story, Mr. Speaker. The honorable member has said it is alleged that I had invited people to a party. Mr. Speaker, that is not true. This is just a situation where you find yourself at a place at the wrong time. It was a public place, a restaurant, and there were several groups of people in that place, Mr. Speaker. And the issue of the death of Mercy Keino came to me 2 weeks after she had been buried. And even if I had met her the following day after that hotel or restaurant, I would never have noticed her. It is a sad story, and Kenyan life was lost, but I sincerely and truly had nothing to do with it. Suffice to say, Mr. Speaker, an inquiry, I think it was inquiry 22 of, I think 2012, was done at Milimani Magistrates Court. And all persons of interest.
An inquiry or an inquest?
An inquest, sorry.
Yes.
I am not a lawyer like yourself, Mr. Speaker, so some of these terms.
The two are different.
Yes. So it was done, and it took about a year and a half, and all persons of interest were invited, even those that had not been there.
Including yourself?
Including myself. I was governor, but I managed to be able to sit in there for 6 days, cross-examination, examination in chief, etc. And I was exonerated by the judgment of that court, a court that made a finding that the late Keino was a victim of a hit and run by a truck. And that matter rests there. It is a sad story. There were videos played of the scene in the restaurant. And when I was speaking to the father of Keino at the inquest, I was urging him really not to watch those videos, because they were videos that were not very nice for a parent. I sympathize with the family of Keino. May her soul rest in peace. But I am certain that as a child, and a God-fearing child, I believe that one day the truck driver or whoever it is that was in the truck that killed Keino will be able to come out and say, unfortunately, I kept quiet, but I did it. And I hope that day will come. I have a copy of the inquiry report with me if anyone would be interested to have a look at. It's a public document. Honorable Dawood, I am not aware of the 2025